had a really weird last 5 days. I had like a really good couple of days a few days ago, and I had like all this energy and I was doing workouts. I was being super productive and getting a lot of stuff done that needed to be done, just feeling kind of on top of things. And then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, I just totally crashed and got such a horrible migraine. And I don't really get migraines, but this one, like the first day, I didn't have the pain of the migraine. It felt like pressure everywhere, and I felt really like disoriented and nauseous, and yeah, disoriented was like the biggest thing in every way, with time, with space. The second day, which was yesterday, I was just in like severe pain and feeling disoriented all day. Today the pain went away, but the disorientation just went to like a whole new level. I feel a bit better now, but for most of today, it was so bad. I was in a state of complete derealization, depersonalization, disassociation. It was so bad. And then on top of that, I was so paranoid. Like, I was having all of these really like terrible and terrifying thoughts and feelings, and I could not distinguish between reality and what was just going on inside my head. And I was like having a total internal meltdown episode, like rethinking and questioning everything. I kept on just staring at walls, or whatever it was I was doing, I would just like stop and just like stare into space, having like a total mental crisis for like 15 minutes straight, and then I would like half snap out of it, and it was really bad. I still feel like shit right now. I haven't had an episode like that in a long time. I was just completely detached from reality. It was almost like a really dark, twisted trip of that nature. It was so bizarre and like terrifying. There were a few points where I felt like I was gonna die, and logically I was telling myself, I'm sure it's just anxiety, and I knew I was paranoid, and so I just kept on reminding myself, you know you're paranoid right now, so you're probably not actually dying. It's probably just, your paranoia making you paranoid that you're gonna die when you're not actually gonna die. So I was able to relatively keep my cool and not like fully believe that I was gonna die, or fully believe all of these delusions I was having, but holy shit, that was still terrifying. The funny thing is, so yesterday before I went to bed, I put in robe curlers. I got my hair curled for today, and then this morning I put my hair up. I was hoping that putting myself together externally would help me feel put together internally. It did not at all. So that was unfortunate. I didn't really get very much done today outside of the standard necessities. Because I've had such a crappy time, I caved and let myself make another jar of pumpkin cookies. This is like probably the 4th batch of them that I've made this month. I keep on telling myself I gotta cut down on the cookies, and this batch that I'm on right now is gonna be the last one I make for at least a while, and then life just gets rough again in one aspect or another, and then I impulsively make another jar of cookies. But anyway, I just thought I'd talk about this stuff while it's still relevant in my brain, because if I feel better tomorrow, which I think I might and I hope I will, I probably won't remember a lot of today. I realize that I don't really remember things very well if they happened in a mood that I'm not in. So when I'm dealing with a lot of crap, I'll remember other times where I've felt really crappy and dealt with a lot of bullshit a lot more vividly. But then when I'm feeling really good, I can't really remember the bad things. Anyway, that's how my last few days have been going. Hopefully I can catch a break. That's it for now. So it's been about a month since I've posted a video. So I thought I'd just pop in for a minute here and kind of talk about it because there's been a lot that's been going on and I wasn't really sure what was going to happen or what was currently happening in me during this time. So I thought I'd just preface this a little bit now that I'm starting to come out on the other side. A lot of not great things have been happening in mine and my family's life in the last month, and I'll get into those in the video, but all of it has taken a big toll on me, and a lot of it was hurting me more than I was realizing at the time. And a big part of it is I've been having like this huge disconnect with myself that has been going on for, I'm honestly not even really sure how long. It's been a long time. And over the last month, with all of the challenges that I've been facing, the thing that was causing the disconnect and causing a lot of the struggles I've been going through was getting worse because the things that were happening in my life were the exact type of things that made that source of my disconnect even worse. And I don't want to talk too much about that like root problem, and I'd rather talk about it in the next video now that I'm on the other side of this, but I guess long story short, I've been through a lot and I've been pushed to my limits, and because of that I've had a bit of a realization, and now I'm doing a lot better. And once I can kind of organize my thoughts on all of this, I'll definitely put all of that into a video, which will be the next one. So yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to preface this with. Roll on with the video.
Had it been better, back again, my familiar stand. Nothing more than a thought to relate to. Tied it up for better or worse. To my ways, to the sanctuary. Nobody stays, but I'm removed by my situation, lacking concentration on what I mean when I say my intentions are what I believe in. Thoughts are my product of reasoning.
I'm not gonna lie, things have been kind of rough lately. A lot of different things that have been just kind of piling up, making things not feel very great. For one, my family is having to deal with some pretty rough stuff back at home, and I try not to really think about that too often because there's nothing I can do about it, and even if I was there still wouldn't be anything that I could do about it. It just doesn't feel very good, and I'm not like dwelling on it, but even if I'm not like thinking about it actively, it still has an effect on me. On top of that, I ran out of my allergy medication and my allergies just got so incredibly bad. I was so itchy, constantly sneezing, just so stuffy, and it was really, really bad. Like, it was so miserable. Now I've been getting a lot of really like terrible migraines. Today I was feeling kind of fine earlier in the day, and then I started feeling tired and dissociated. I think it was 1:30 or 2. I could not keep my eyes open with what I was doing. I was like passing out, and so I went and laid down, and I just passed out for 4 hours. I didn't wake up until 6, which I never do that. And it's not like I hadn't slept the night before. I had slept fine. So just stuff like that, just feeling really sick. We also tried to go camping a couple weeks ago. The GPS took us on a road that merged from a regular dirt road into like an off-roading sand road partway through, and it didn't have anywhere to turn around, and so we kind of just pushed through trying to just get to the end of it because there was no space to turn around. But eventually it got so bumpy and sandy that like there was no way our car was going to make it any further. And so we finally tried to turn around, and in doing so it got stuck and we had to get towed. We were out there for a few hours trying to figure out what to do and getting help from police because we don't know anyone here, so we couldn't just call someone to come and try to help us or bring stuff for us. We don't know anybody, so we had to call the police. We had to pay for a tow truck. That was a few $100s, which we can't really afford to just be losing a few $100s, and so we've been struggling financially because of that lately. And this last one isn't really a huge deal, but I think it's worth mentioning with the way that I am. But for some reason, this fall has been really, really dry, like unusually dry here. And the colorful leaves have all fallen off the trees by now. So we've had 2 weeks of everything being brown and gray and dead, but we haven't had any rain, we haven't had any snow, which I don't like that. I like to have rain or snow, and I'm not really a fan of colorless nature unless there's, you know, snow covering it. So that has taken a little bit of a toll, I guess. I'm just not really feeling a lot of like joy. I'm just not really feeling a lot of joy and inspiration from nature lately because of that. My God. And another thing, I don't know if I'm just more irritated about it lately or if it's really true the way I'm feeling about it, but I feel like the train is always going by. Every time, like, it shakes the entire house when it's going by. So you'll hear like the glass like jingle and hit each other. Everything that I have sitting around the house will start to like, there have been trains going by the whole time I've been recording this video. Like the whole time there's been trains going by and honking, and I don't know. I'm just not having a very good time lately. Just because a lot of things are better doesn't mean that everything's better, and it doesn't mean that things are easy. And there are still a lot of things that we struggle with, and there's a lot of it's been hard for me to even just get through the day and, you know, keep the house clean, keep food on the table, all of that kind of stuff. It's been hard enough just keeping up with all of that lately. And I just hope that this, or whatever you want to call it that I'm going through right now, is ending, because I really have so much stuff that I want to do and that I want to work on, and I have so many ideas, but I just can't manage to do anything when I'm constantly passing out from how tired I am or having horrible migraines or whatever it is. I don't know. That's all I want to say, and I hope you guys are having a better time than me. Perfect timing. The fridge is running. That's going to ruin the audio quality, so see you later. So I've come to the realization that this is probably going to be the hardest winter of my life, past and future life. The reason why I think that is because, first of all, this is my first winter living this far north, because the furthest north I've spent a winter before is, Utah, Salt Lake, when I lived there. It's a pretty significant jump, so that's the first reason. The next reason being that we're not exactly that financially stable at the moment, and so we won't really have as much money as I'd like us to be able to put into a winter gear and a bunch of other like emergency type of things for the winter, and yeah, just safety and comfortability things that are good for the winter. We won't really have, hopefully, if things go the way that you intend them to in life, things will only be getting better from this point in time, at least financially. And of course, last winter was difficult financially, but we lived in a city and it didn't get very cold. It hardly ever snowed, so we also don't really know anybody up here. I've made a few acquaintances since moving here, but we never knew anyone before, and I haven't really gotten close to anyone, so if anything does go wrong, then we're pretty much on our own, and on top of being financially unstable, it's going to be a bit challenging if anything does go wrong. That's kind of the reasons why we're never going to be this financially unstable again, hopefully. Never say never. We're never going to move to a colder place than this, really. So we're never going to have that, first time in an actually really cold winter experience, because it's just, we're going to get used to it after this year. And I do intend to move away again to a place where we don't have the familiarity and the people that we know and stuff like that. But when we do get to that point, we'll have a lot more of like a financial safety net, and we'll have a lot more resources that we'll be able to, buy and everything to be prepared if something does go wrong at that point, because we're not going to move like we did last time to here. We're never going to, go through something that scary again. So when we do move, it'll be because we have the financial capability to, not because we literally can't afford not to, if that makes sense. I was just kind of realizing that the other day. So that's both scary and comforting, because it's scary, obviously, because, going through the hardest winter of your life is kind of a scary thing to think about. But at the same time, it feels a little bit comforting as well, because if we can get through this winter and feel okay, then, we can get through any winter for the rest of our lives, pretty much. I'm trying to get out of this funk I've been in. And so I've been getting a bunch of things that I've been needing to do off my back. I've been making calls, having appointments, things like that I need to. And then today I tried to dye my hair because it had grown out a lot. It didn't really work perfectly. The roots didn't lighten and dye as much as they needed to, so the roots are still darker. I think it's fine. Well, my heater just turned on and it's going to be loud, so I think that's it for now. But yeah, I'm trying to work on feeling a little bit better, and this is the first step to trying to push myself to say, hey, we're gonna get out of this funk, it's gonna be okay. So hopefully nothing else goes too wrong and I can pick myself up a little bit after all these trying things that I've been going through. And yeah, talk to you then.
Come here. Man, you overshoot. You just kind of yeet yourself. Look at that.
She doesn't even look where she's going.
You're
She
not
just
even
jumps
looking.
in hopes to land somewhere.
What you doing?
Recording,
Gotta put it in a video?
maybe.